Hi there, I'm Ben Mankiewicz. Welcome to TCM and more of our lineup with our monster of the month. That's Godzilla. Up next tonight, the 15th and final movie in the original Godzilla series, all produced in Japan for Toho Studios. From 1975, Terror of Mechagodzilla. As the movie begins, we're reminded that at the end of the previous picture in the series, Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, Godzilla defeated his mechanical double. He ripped the robot Godzilla's head off, threw it in the ocean. But anyone familiar with these monster movies, almost any horror movie franchise really, knows death isn't really as permanent as it is for the rest of us. Plus, this was a robot Godzilla, and robots can be rebuilt. In Terror of Mechagodzilla, there are plenty of other monsters as well, plus spies, some mad scientists, evil aliens, cyborgs, all of it leading to a dizzying supply of comic book mayhem. The filmmakers threw everything they had at this story, but it still wasn't enough to breathe new life into Toho's original Godzilla series. This became the final movie in the franchise. The 1970s was a challenging decade for the Japanese film business. The entire industry nearly collapsed and several prominent studios failed. Toho, the studio responsible for these Godzilla films, was substantially downsized. Even though these Godzilla movies didn't cost much to make, Toho pulled the plug on the series after 21 years. It had admittedly grown a bit stale. Toho did manage to send the franchise out in style, bringing back the director of the original Godzilla from 1954, Ishiro Honda, to direct this final film. Here it is from 1975, Terror of Mechagodzilla. Terror of Mechagodzilla was the last film in Toho Studios' original Godzilla series. But like most movie monsters, Godzilla just needed a little time off. 3 years later, America's own Hanna-Barbera Studios premiered an animated Godzilla TV show for children. Later, there was a Japanese reboot in 1984 marking Godzilla's 30th anniversary with a return to a meaner, scarier monster, as Godzilla was in the original. Then, starting in 1989, a second wave of Japanese-made films featuring Godzilla versus some other monster began in earnest. Here in the States, the Godzilla reimagination began in 1998 with Matthew Broderick starring in director Roland Emmerich's CGI-driven popcorn movie. That reboot was a no-brainer, really, given the success of the Jurassic Park franchise. Then in 2014, we got another Hollywood Godzilla, this time starring Bryan Cranston. And this summer, a sequel to that film, Godzilla King of the Monsters, hit theaters. Coming up, another kaiju monster movie inspired by Godzilla and directed by Ishiro Honda.